Barakatah Yahawah, Barakatah Yahawashi, Barakatah Yahawah, Barakatah Yahawashi, Barakatah Yahawah, Barakatah Yahawashi, Bahashem, Yahawashi, Bahashem, Rechakwadash. Shalom to the Akim wa Akwathium, Shalom. Just want to make a quick video. Just going over the end time prophecies. We'll just speak, just kind of touching on, how we're in the last days, and as everyone is, it's painfully obvious now, that we're in the last days. Not too long ago, people were still scoffing, thinking that this place will last forever, and not seeing all the signs, the micro signs. Now it's on a macro level. Now you're seeing, all the things going on as far as with this, vax, trying to jab you up and everything. And then you're seeing more and more reports that's coming out, for people that, it's going to be mandatory. And that's just the, precursor to the ultimate end game, being that chip, spoken of in Revelation 13, 16 through 17. So we're here. This is a couple more end time prophecies left. The key major prophecies that's going to come to pass, that's about to come to pass, is very few. Like our salvation is nearer than we believed, and it's right here. So we're right here, close to the finish line. It's probably like in terms of football reference, it's we like in a red zone. 20 yards out from the end zone. End zone being the kingdom of heaven. That's about to, be ushered in. So just wanted to kind of touch on it. So the last two key prophecies is going to be, the return. Well, it's going to be this vax followed by the microchip, RFID, and then on top we know that that's going to be closely on the heels of this vax. It's just like a warm up, to the ultimate end game, because that way they just ultimate end game is to permanently chip and have control, be the ultimate act of trying to be like the Most High and have control of the people, being able to control everything, medically, economically, and just, be able to track you and everything, because the Most High. Let's go ahead and let me get that. I think it's in Ecclesiasticus chapter 13, I believe. Double check. It's 23:19. Salaki. 23:19. Yeah. So Ecclesiasticus chapter 23, verse 19. Such a man only feareth the eyes of men. A lot of people are going to end up falling and taking that knee and bowing down to the so-called white man, or the Edomites of the Bible, and take that fax and then take that chip too. And they fear man, not the Most High. And it's real quick. Let me go to Matthew 10. This is what you should do. This is what you should have in your mind at all times, especially in these days. As I see 33:6, the knowledge of wisdom shall be the stability of our time, of these times. Paraphrasing, but yeah. So Matthew 10 and 28 says, "And fear not them which kill the body, but are not able to kill the soul, but rather fear him which is able to destroy both soul and body in hell." So you fear the Most High power. That's him. So going back to Psalm 23 and 19, says, "Such a man only feareth the eyes of men, and knoweth not that the eyes of the Lord Yahawashi are 10,000 times brighter than the sun, beholding all the ways of men, and considering the most secret parts." As the Lord say, there's nothing that should be hid that will not be revealed, that nothing done in the dark that should not come to the light. So when you see this, this is the Edomites, so-called white man, their main objective, their main MO, mission is to always try to be like the Most High. And his ultimate act of trying to be like the Most High. He's the ultimate narcissist, God complex bastard, So his ultimate act in the end is to try and microchip everybody to have a complete, total observation of all mankind. His first attempt is just, with the census and everything. We know in Second Samuel 24, I believe, that, when an evil spirit came upon David to number the people, that's not for man to know any numbering of the Most High, any measurements of the heavens, of the ocean, or the number of the people. That's nothing. That's blasphemous. That's evil to try to number the people, and that's trying to be like the Most High, knowing the numbers and knowing everything, knowing the count, of the people. So that's what Esau has done with the census, wanting people to sign up and trying to keep track of everybody, registry and all of that registration, registering your vehicles with him. That's why he can just take your vehicle, confiscate your vehicle, because technically it's his when you register it at your local county office, But anyways, so that's his ultimate act, is to chip you so that he can ultimately chip you in and have like a GPS navigation and be able to know where you at all times, not just know how many people, but know where you at as well. So, and then he knows he has but a short time. That's why you have this Operation Warp Speed, to get this vax concocted, this serpent serum, what I like to call it, and so what this serpent serum going to do, it's all kind of, reports coming out about people catching Bell's palsy and other health effects, and even that nurse, I forget her name right now, but she passed out on TV after taking that jab, and it's saying she's alive, but more than likely she's not. Just a psyops to, and it's the Most High making Esau bear, Jeremiah 4:49-10. He's real remedial. His very crafty illusion of deceit and deception is real remedial and low level elementary nowadays. Everybody see through it. First it was, it worked. It's like cast spells on people pretty well with this deceit, but now, a lot of people seeing through it. But, forgive me for being a little bit all over. I'm just, just wanted to just kind of talk about the times we in, just kind of touch on things, just give just touch on things and just point out the times we in, and, just bring light to it. Just can't talk about it enough, because we're officially in these times, and it's, it's more evident, it's more plain to see than, being able to see it with the eye salve spiritually. Now you can see it physically, and it ain't hard to see through it now and see clearly what's happening. So the last two prophecies is this chip, and then right on the heels of the chip, the Most High part. Then also in connection with that is going to be world war, complete world war from sea to shining sea, and at the same time, it's going to be the return of the Most High, power only begotten Son, the Messiah, and big brother of the Israelites, Yahawashi, going to return to redeem us, the right arm extension of the Lord, and his great glorious return, not meeting us as a man and the enemies that pierced him. He's going to destroy everything, that's wicked. So pray and hope, keep the commandments, that you have the opportunity to be beamed up in those chariots when he returns. As you see all these UFOs, so-called UFO sightings. This is, it's funny. Esau, he likes to number the people. He likes to know everything, know the measurements and depths of the sea, and try to go as far as he can in the ocean, and try to measure the heavens, exalt himself above amongst the stars with his satellites and everything. And he loves labeling and terming everything, right? So this bastard loves to know everything and he labels everything got a label. But some some weird reason, he don't know what those so-called, they always refer to as UFOs, unidentified. He identifies everything, even if he labels everything. But those never have been labeled, It's because he knows what they are. He don't want us to know that those are the chariots of the Most High, the vehicles of the Most High, the spiritual vehicles of the Most High Power patrolling the earth, and it's not in his favor. So it's those are going to be his destruction, and they're in order and just waiting for the word. It's not the time for it, but more and more sightings, coming more and more plain as well. Seeing chariots all over the place, recordings and everything. So, but yeah, want to get that verse, and yeah, so the Operation Warp Speed, he got but a short time coming down, that he the hammer of the earth still, but the Most High is about to break the hammer of the earth, which are the Edomites, so-called white man. But yeah, so Revelations 12:12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. So that's what that warp speed is about. Because when you look at the time frame in which which they came up with this vax, they say it took like 8 months. That was the fastest ever that a so-called vaccine, so-called cure was created to cure a disease. And the prior fastest time was 4 years, and it typically takes 20 years. That's the time it usually is supposed to take, 20 years to be able to perfect their little, so-called, cure or whatever. But we trust in the Most High Power, not in man. So that's another commandment people breaking, blasphemous. They trusting in man and running down to Egypt for man's help and not praying, coming to the Most High Power. If this man was righteous, the white man was righteous, he would be calling upon the Lord, telling everybody, call upon the Lord to save us in this great catastrophic disease pandemic, right? But no, he's not doing that. He trying to say he got the power. That's why he has ultimate God complex. He don't refer to the Most High. That's why these people, that's how you know that these people are not of the Lord, or they don't, nor do they consider or care to mention the Lord or acknowledge the Lord. They always, these people are of Satan. Cain regenerated through Esau, and now they're the Edomites, you know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, just wanted to touch on it a little bit. And then let's go ahead and read Revelation 13 as well. And, it just hit me because Revelation 12:12, he coming down knowing that he hath but a short time, and that's that little season he was loosed out of the caves in the Renaissance. But it's very interesting because Revelation 12 speaks on he has but a short time. That's their Operation Warp Speed. Then you go to Revelation 13, verse 16 through 17. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. That mark, you go to that word, means charagma, which means an etching or cutting into the flesh. It's physical, it's not spiritual. So anybody saying that it's spiritual, it's Christianity, it's philosophies, anybody saying that, they are a false prophet. Get away from their ravening wolves in sheep's clothing. Get away from their false shepherds. But and then verse 17, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. So it's not a coincidence that, it's kind of going in chronological order here, but it's going to be happening back to back though. Revelation 12:12, he had but a short time, that Operation Warp Speed, that's why he was coming. So many things happening at once, and so many things. It's hard to keep track of everything sometimes and to put it, to bring everything out. But like Trump last year, or even I think before that, the Space Force, they need to get that. Why you need a Space Force? A force to do what? You're trying to fight something that's in the skies. What's in the skies? So-called UFOs, the chariots of the Most High Power. So he got but a short time. So and they got these high-powered telescopes and everything. And, they love to see and try to know everything. So they seeing chariots, all over, and he terrified, and so they trying to create a military force in the sky to fight the Most High Power spiritual vehicles, which is folly. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. But and then it's just not. It just hit me. That's the call Yahawashi, Bahashem Hamashiach Yahawashi. Bahashem Hakwadash for blessing me to see this, because it just hit me though. Like Revelation 12, the Operation Warp Speed got a short time, and then because that's that vax, because they warp speed and that vax, that jab, right? And then Revelation 13 is going to be following on the heels, just like Revelation 13 following Revelation 12. Boom, the chip gonna follow that jab, just like that, and then the Lord Yahawashi gonna return. But yeah, so let's go. I'm gonna jump real quick. I'm not gonna be too much longer, but I'm gonna go ahead and Second Ezra chapter 13 in the Apocrypha, and then this is going to be happening as well around that same time, right before the Lord Yahawashi returns at the commandment of Yahawah. So in Second Ezra chapter 13, we'll start at verse 31. It says, and one shall undertake to fight against another, one city against another, one place against another, one people against another, and one realm against another. These are different kingdoms. This is different nations, all the different heathen nations upon the earth. That's World War III. So verse 32, and the time shall be when these things shall come to pass. So right in the midst of it, when the war begins, it says, and the signs shall happen, which I showed thee before, and then shall my son be declared. What son? The Most High Power's only begotten Son. Who is that? Yahawashi, the Redeemer, the Savior, the only begotten Son of the Most High. It says, and then shall my Son be declared, whom thou sawest as a man ascending. Now, anybody Old Testament only bugged out Negroes that don't believe in the New Testament. Who is this? Who is this that the scripture's talking about in the Old? This is so-called Old Testament. This was taken out of the so-called Old Testament back in at the 1800s. The Apocrypha was in the Old Testament. It was when it was printed in 1611. It was translated by the biblical scholars that spoke Hebrew and ancient Greek to translate it into the Old English of the 1600s. So who is this son referring to? Yahawashi. So anybody talking about that the New Testament, speaking against the New Testament, they only have partial of they only believe in half the book. Get away from false prophet, bugged out idiot. Just to get away from them. So this is Yahawashi, and then it said this was the direct prophecy of how in Acts, I believe Acts chapter 1, how when Yahawashi went ahead and when he left. After he crucified, resurrected, seen the apostles and for the last time, and then he ascended into the clouds, to the heavens, and went into the fourth dimension to sit on the right hand side of the Most High Power, Yahawah. So who is this ascending, and who is this? This is a direct prophecy of how Yahawashi was going to leave the earth the first time. This is pretty incredible. It's right here. So anybody talking about the Old Testament don't exist, that's not real, Yahawashi isn't real, they're a blasphemer, a heretic, and a reprobate. Just get away from them. So continuing. And then shall my son be declared, whom thou sawest as a man ascending. Verse 33. And when all the people hear his voice, every man shall in their own land leave the battle they have one against another. So they're going to be fighting one another. And they're going to be thinking that they can come up against the Most High Power, only begotten Son, and his only begotten Son, who's, like how should I say, you see me, you seen the Father. You know what I'm saying? So, direct reflection of the Most High Power is Yahawashi. So everybody going to stop fighting each other, and they're going to fight. They're going to try to now link up, and that's that. And they're going to try to gather themselves together to fight Yahawashi, and that is going to be in the valley. That's what the valley of Jehoshaphat spoken of in Joel chapter 3, and the valley of Jehoshaphat, which translates to the valley of Yahweh's decision, or Yahweh's judgment, Yahweh's decision. The Yahweh's judgment upon all these heathen nations are going to try to come up against Yahawashi. So continuing, verse 34. And an innumerable multitude shall be gathered together, as thou sawest them, willing to come and to overcome him by fighting. These idiots thinking they're going to be able to do something against the Lord Yahawashi, and against the Lord Yahawah by Hashem Yahawashi. Verse 35, but he shall stand upon the top of the Mount Zion. That's the Israelites. That's another name for the Israelites, the elect, namely, and on this side. And the 2/3 got to suffer judgment on this side. Lord willing, the hopeful elect, I'm hopeful, Lord willing, I'm of that number, and all the hopeful brothers keeping the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. Hopefully, we all can be of that number. And verse 36, and Zion shall come and shall be showed to all men, being prepared and builded, like as thou sawest the hill graven without hands. It reminds me of a dream I had. I probably need to make a couple videos on a couple dreams I've had in the past. It's really seared into my memory. It's powerful and beautiful and frightening too. But anyways, so this is the Lord Yahawashi and the elect. In verse 37, and this my son shall rebuke the wicked inventions of those nations, which for their wicked life are fallen into the tempest. Verse 38, and shall lay before them their evil thoughts, and the torments wherewith they shall begin to be tormented. It's going to be a very horrific thing, real righteous judgment, which are like unto a flame. That's the chariot laser beam fire, and he's going to get destroyed. And he shall destroy them without labor by the law which is like unto fire. So they show you they're going to they thinking that they're going to be able to come together and link all the heathen nations, thinking they're going to stop their fight in World War III, come together, link up to try to stop the threat, that incredible threat that just came from another dimension, which is Yahawashi returning from the fourth dimension, and they thinking that they're going to have a chance against them with their space force and all of that nonsense. And then Yahawashi just without labor, without breaking a sweat, just going to verbally just speak the judgment, boom, and then it's going to come rain down upon them, fire. And then it says at the end of the verse, and he shall destroy them without labor by the law, which is like unto a fire, which is Salaki, I'm getting excited reading. It says, and he shall destroy them without labor by the law, which is like unto fire. So Jeremiah 5:14, that's part of what that fire is. The Lord get that real quick and before it close out. Jeremiah 5:14. Wherefore, thus saith the Lord Yahawah, the Most High Power, by Hashem Yahawashi of hosts, because ye speak this word, behold, what word? The word of the Lord Yahawah, the commandments, the rebuking that comes from the commandments. Behold, I will make my words in thy mouth fire, and this people wood, and it shall devour them. So, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. It's stay strong, Israel. The Holy Scriptures will be our stability in these times. Everybody thought that we was crazy. We knew we wasn't. Now they looking crazy, and we know they crazy. They thought we were crazy. We know they crazy. But just stay strong. I'll give one more verse, Isaiah 33:6. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord Yahawah by Hashem Yahawashi is his treasure. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. Call Allah Yahawah by Hashem Yahawashi. To the next video. Shalom Akim. YAHAWAH.